How do you go about how do you go about going against Devil Jin in a set? That's a colossal question. I'm gonna meditate. I'll answer that and then I'll meditate. So, Devil Jin. Let's start from the most annoying part, is Hell Sweep versus mid, right? Every Devil Jin's thinking about it. Every Devil Jin opponent is thinking about it. How do we play around it? So crouch dash is an evasive stance, but the moment he inputs an attack, he's no longer in the crouching state. When you input like Hell Sweep, you're open to jabs. And because crouch dash takes so much time relative to the jab speed, we have basically an answer right there. Is in neutral, to shut down the mix-up of mid-low and not have to guess constantly, especially when the opponent has safe mids over and over again, you jab interrupt their timing. That's a solid way to make a Devil Jin uncomfortable. It makes them annoyed, and it just disrupts the flow of the offense they want to play. And that's always good in Tekken, is disrupting the flow of what your opponent wants to do. Safely, if you can, right? But that kind of disruption is really strong in any tournament setting. So that's the first thing. Jab to disrupt the flow of their mix-up, shut down their crouch dash mix-up, etc. Now, it's not that free because if you jab in the open too much, they can just throw out electrics and clip your jab. So there's a certain range where jabbing is a really fucking bad idea, and that's mainly where you're like in electric range, but the jab definitely won't hit them. So don't just jab for free there, because electric will just clip you and kill you. So if you're not jabbing, you're blocking. Now, if you're blocking, electric is +5, pushback, safe. So what does that mean? That means we probably have to duck, right? Because we want to get around it. Stepping electric is so high risk for very little reward. I almost always just duck electric. It's safe, it's consistent, and again, you're disrupting the flow of their offense. If they don't get their plus frames after they committed that many inputs to trying to get a just frame, there's like a slight mental frustration there. You know, whether they let it get to them is different, but like there is a bit of friction in like committing that much effort and then duck not giving them the plus frames they want. They might eat a small punish. It doesn't matter if you launch them. Just making the electric not give them plus frames is a big deal, and then any small damage you get is also a big deal. So they're no longer electricking, and they're getting counter hit every time they go for a crouch dash mix-up. What's left? Devil Jin has 1-1, which is one of the most fucked up strings in the game. Because if you try to sidestep, the second one can clip you. If you sidestep duck, you can get knocked down by 1-1-2. And if you just block, he's -1. That's pretty fucked up. He has many +8 moves, so down forward 1, crouch dash or while standing 4, jab, and all of these being +8 sets up his frame trap of back 4, which is 17 frames, or he could just do down forward 2. So if he's forced to play small, he has access to highly effective neutral strings, 1-1, down forward 1-2, safe mid-mid, delayable, counter hit confirmable. Down 3, down back 2, evading, counter hit knockdown. We can play small Tekken more than fine. So, and then big counter hits when you get impatient. So, once you've gotten around the mid-low mix with jabs in neutral to shut it down, once you've gotten on electrics by ducking and not jabbing when you're at a, range 1.5, range 2, range 2.5, past that, then you got to deal with their small Tekken. And beating their small Tekken is where it's reduced back to normal, right? So, like, play the frames, try and, like, make reads on their lows, their mid-lows, do your best to avoid running into the big counter hits, because that's where he'll get the most of his damage, right? And then once you've done all that, you have to remember, once you get them to play the small Tekken, you have to remember that they still want to hell sweep you and they still want to electric you. So it's juggling all of those, making the Devil Jin constantly uncomfortable, where whatever offense they try to set up just seems to not work. Every time they try to mix you with the crouch dash, they get jabbed. Every time they try to electric, you get ducked. Every time they go for small Tekken, they get outpoked. They get beaten by big shit. And doing that and outplaying your opponent that way is how you win. Finally, the last advice I can probably give that's like easy if I want to even say the word easy, is against forward 1+2 or Devil Jin at the wall in general, is you limit your gameplay to jabs and quick sidestep blocks to just get out of the wall. When your back is to the wall, all you care about is getting out. You don't want to play against Devil Jin at the wall. Yeah. You have to know when you can guess and make actual guesses to try and make them uncomfortable. It's similar against Julia, which I'm still figuring out. In this game, the first step is knowing when you have to guess. If you don't know that you have to guess, you'll just get fucked, right? And then, once you have to guess, you have to kind of guess right. Yeah, what I said can be used for most characters because it's a generic approach. But I think breaking it down into what they want and how you answer that lets you start guessing properly. So it's like, if you're guessing they're not trying to mix you, they're just trying to electric you, you can stop jabbing and just duck. If you're guessing that they're mainly looking for hell sweep, you can go for like keep out reads, right? If you know that they're not doing either, then you just play standard Tekken. And then at the wall, you watch out for the homing wall bounce, hell sweep, and the way to beat that is jabs and sidestep blocks. But I don't even try to challenge him at the wall. It's just fucked up. If you eat an electric at the wall, it's honestly less bad than eating the wall bounce, you know? So jab is fine. Like, it all sucks, but I would rather eat an electric at the wall than the forward 1+2. Yeah, Demon Paw is fucked up. And then on top of all that, Devil Jin has all these fucked up, like, Devil Jin has fucked up, like, gimmicks. Like, gimmicky setups. Like, when you think of, like, Lei or, Ling, you think of a character that, oh, I blocked, now it's my turn. And then they do some bullshit that makes them, like, fly around and evade everything. Devil Jin is up 4. Sidestep 2 is weird evasion. So on top of having to out-solid him, you have to out-gimmick him, too. So, it's a lot of work, but it's doable. Anyways, I'm going to make that a YouTube video so I don't have to answer that again. No, I'm kidding. It's good to talk about. Thanks, Tilted Coffee, for asking the question and for appreciating me. Now, somebody banned Tilted Coffee for asking a question. I'm kidding. I'm going to pee and then meditate. I'm so mad I lost. Yes, keeping out Devil Jin and not running into his electric is really strong because Devil Jin will get really annoyed. They don't have to run into it, but it helps. Anyways, I'm going to start that meditation. And I'm going to pee while it's the breathing part.